Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders joins me now. Senator Sanders, always good to see you. You grew up in Brooklyn. You have endorsed Zohran Mamdani. You have campaigned for Zohran Mamdani. Do you expect him to win? And if he does become the next mayor of New York City, what does that mean for the future of the Democratic Party?
Well, what it means, I think, for the whole country is that when you have a candidate like Zohran, who is taking on the oligarchs and the billionaires in New York, he's taken on Donald Trump, the president, who wants to see him lose, has endorsed Cuomo. He's taking on the Republican establishment in New York. He's taking on the Democratic establishment. If he wins, what it will show not just New York, but the entire country, that if you have an agenda that speaks to the needs of working families, if you are prepared to deal with the reality that the very richest people in America are becoming much richer, while tens of millions of families are struggling to put food on the table and pay the rent and pay for health care, if he wins, the message goes all over this country. You can stand up to the oligarchs. We can start electing members of Congress and mayors and governors who stand with the working class.
Senator Sanders, as you know, in 2024, President Trump increased his vote total in almost every borough in New York City. Our data team tells me it is not a fiction that there are Trump supporters from 2024 who are likely, if not already, Zohran Mamdani supporters in 2025. Can you explain that to me?
Yeah, I sure can. Many, not all, but many of Trump's supporters understand that the system is broken, that the campaign finance system is corrupt, controlled by billionaires. These are people who cannot afford health care. They can't afford to send their kids to college. They know the system is broken and it favors the people on top. And Trump came along and he said, you know, I'm going to fix it. Well, what Trump is doing is making a bad situation worse. And many of these people are now seeing in Mamdani somebody who is standing up and saying, you know what, I know you can't afford housing. I know you can't afford child care. And we're going to stand together and create a city that works for all of us, not just a handful of billionaires. And I think that's an appeal to Trump supporters. It's an appeal to just many, many people who want real change, not only in New York, but throughout this country.
Hakeem Jeffries, the House Minority Leader, was asked yesterday if Zohran Mamdani is the new face of the Democratic Party. He said no. Agree or disagree?
Well, I think if Mamdani wins, it will send a message from one end of this country to the other, that not only is it good policy to stand with working families and to understand the pain that they are experiencing, it's good politics as well. People are sick and tired of status quo politics, of people who don't say anything, who are afraid to stand up to the powers that be. And if Mamdani wins, I think the message goes up, yeah, we can take on the oligarchs. We can create a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So, yeah, I do think that a win by Zohran Mamdani will be significantly important policy-wise and politically for this country.
Senator Sanders, to what degree are you aggravated that the Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer has yet to endorse Mamdani?
That's Mr. Schumer's view. I am working as hard as I can to see that Mamdani is elected the next mayor. Mr. Schumer has to make his own decisions.
Does his reticence suggest what you were just talking about? Those in the political arena who are afraid to take chances or speak their mind?
Look, there are profound differences within the Democratic world. There are some folks who see the future of the Democratic Party is continuing to get large amounts of money from billionaires, to hire all of these inside the Beltway consultants who, in my view, are way out of touch with reality, to elect candidates who say very little, who don't acknowledge the pain that working class people are experiencing. That's one world. And there's another world. It's a world that says we need profound changes in this country, that in the richest country in the history of the world, we should not be the only major country not to guarantee health care to all, the only major country that doesn't have paid family and medical leave, a country in which we have one of the highest rates of childhood poverty, of senior poverty. And I think millions of people around the country are saying that is not what this great country should be about. We need leadership that stands up to the people on top who have never, ever had it so good and fights for the working class of this country. That's the division within the Democratic Party.
Senator Sanders, your family has tragically been touched by the history of the Holocaust. There are those who accuse Zohran Mamdani of being either anti-Semitic or overtly hostile to the very existence of the state of Israel. How do you respond?
I don't agree with that. I think what Mamdani is saying and what I am saying and what a majority of the American people believe is that Israel had a right to defend itself after the terrible terrorist Hamas attack against them. But Israel and Netanyahu did not have a right to go to war against the Palestinian people, kill at least 65,000 of them, injure 160,000 more, and decimate the entire infrastructure of Gaza, hospitals, healthcare, universities, schools. That Israel did not have the right to do. And that is, I think, the point that Mamdani is making is that we should not be continuing to fund an extremist Netanyahu government who has caused so much horror in Gaza.
Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, I appreciate your time, sir, as always. Thank you.
Thank you very much.